when I started reading up on the vaccine, it actually seemed like something very exciting because it changed the way things were done. We didn't need to put a live virus inside of us. We were using a different, coming at it from a different angle. And it was very exciting because if this ever happens again with another virus, they can produce a vaccine and they'll run off the back of the technology, or the science,
Tell me first of all about your late brother, Francis. He lived in Portugal. Was that the case for a while?
Yeah, they moved across in 2016.
And how was that, being quite far away from your family?
It was difficult. I mean, we got to thank social media as much as there are negatives to it. It does keep us in contact with loved ones. We are able to see them. We spend time with them, chatting. Obviously during lockdown, we spent a lot of time chatting, and it does help, but it's not the real thing. It's not the same as being there in the same room with them and laughing and joking and sharing memories. It's not the same thing.
And in normal times, pre-pandemic, did you visit much? Did they come over to the UK again much?
Well, we had visited the previous year. We went across. I think the year or the year before that, we went across to Portugal, and we went to go visit them. We spent 2 weeks there with them. It was fantastic. It was really great. Spending time with the family.
When did you first hear that your brother had caught the virus or suspected that he had?
Well, I heard when he actually tested positive, which was on the Monday before he passed.
And did you know he wasn't vaccinated?
Yes, I knew he wasn't vaccinated.
How did you know that? Had you had a conversation with him about it?
My brother, no. My parents, yes, definitely. My parents seemed to bring it up on the odd occasion, and we would discuss certain concerns of theirs, and they would highlight certain areas. They would send me links, and I would look into it, and then I give them a shout back and say, well, listen, this isn't true because you've looked at it from a wrong angle, or it's just, for example, it's absurd. And, you need to just, take a step back, relax, get calm, calm down. And then it became, as I said to Five Live, it became really, really difficult when people start throwing medical terminology at the situation because you don't have the background or the knowledge to dispel it or get rid of it.
Yeah.
So you're relying on the internet to give you the answers, and that's just the worst thing you can do. But
it was good-natured, those disagreements, was it? Because I'm sure so many people around the country will be in a similar situation where they'll have relatives or what have you sending them links saying, with vaccine disinformation or what have you. But it never got angry.
No, never ever got angry. We never ever had an argument about vaccinations.
And where did your brother sit in this conversation? You said you were having those kind of conversations with your parents. Did you talk openly with him about it, or did you just know? Did you just sort of sense that how he felt about all of this?
Yeah, I knew how he felt about it. I mean, that's the thing with family. You know how people sit with it. He never judged me. I never judged him. I've always taken my brother as someone that's very sensible. And this is that's hit me really, really hard, is that when you start looking at the information that people are looking at, it is so easy to go down that rabbit hole. It is so easy to get lost in it. And it's just, to be honest with you, we just got to find a way to stop it.
So what did you think then when you learned that he tested positive? You knew that he hadn't been vaccinated. You knew your parents, who he saw quite a lot, I assume, also hadn't been vaccinated. You must have been really worried.
Yeah, I was definitely worried. I was very, very worried. I was making plans to go across to Portugal to go and help them recover. I had no idea that they were going to die in the whole process. I didn't have a clue that even one of them was going to die. It didn't even cross my mind. I had worries about my father before everything happened because he had a heart condition. But at the time when I found out that my brother had COVID and then my parents let me know they had COVID, it initially did not cross my mind. It was all about, okay, great, they're going to need a lot of time to recover. I'm going to go up, I'm going to be there, make sure I spend time, get the food for them, let them sleep. They don't need to do anything, and I will do whatever needs to be done to help them.
Were they concerned?
Yeah, they sounded really concerned. When I spoke to my brother on the Monday, he let me know. My parents sent me a message on the Monday night, saying that they had been admitted into hospital and they've both been tested positive. On the Tuesday, I spoke to my dad. He was weak. He was incredibly weak, and he looked really sickly. And I could see he was concerned. When my dad was put into an induced coma, my brother spoke to my mother, sorry, on that Wednesday, and he said my mother was panicking. She was scared. She was saying she didn't want to die, and if she was going to die, she wanted to die at home with the family, not in a hospital on a ventilator. So yeah, they were scared.
And how was that for you, hearing about all of that secondhand, many, many, many miles away?
You feel helpless. You just want to get across there. And like I said to my wife and my employer, I said, you know what, I don't know what I can do there to help, but I can do more than what I'm able to do from here. So, yeah.
And when did you then find out that sadly things had started to take a turn for worse? You said your dad initially was put into an induced coma.
Yeah, that was on the Wednesday, and you still think, okay, great, he's in an induced coma, his body's going to be relaxed, he's going to have the medication put in him. It'll be about 2 weeks, because it's about 14 days before the virus moves away, generally speaking. And then, that just didn't happen. The turn for the worst, the big reality check was the Saturday evening, or was a Sunday morning, should I say, at about 1 o'clock when I got the phone call. That absolutely destroyed me. That was my reality check. That's when my whole world fell apart.
What were you told?
When I answered the phone, I was told that they had found Shaw, and I thought first thought, oh, thank God, we know he's okay. We know that he's we'll know what hospital he's in. And then the sentence carried on to he passed away in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And I can't even explain the agony. There's nothing to explain it. There are no words, nothing.
Did he have any family or friends with him at the time? What with your parents being in hospital?
He had his girlfriend with him who also had COVID. Very. She came through on the other end, and I'm very grateful that she came through on the other end, because it would have been, even worse with 4 people that got it, 4 people died. It's just, but you just wish one of them had, at the very least, one had survived.
And then what happened with your parents? What information did you get then?
I heard on the Tuesday, as I was busy getting some clothing for the trip, and I was waiting for the PCR test, that my father was in a critical state, and the next few hours were critical, and they would give me a call a little bit later, but they're going to try and do everything they can. And then I received a call. That was earlier, before when I was in the shop, before I went to the shop. And then when I was in the shop, I received a call from the same number, and I turned to my wife and I said, I hope this is not that phone call. And she looked at me. I walked out, answered the phone, and the doctor informed me that my father had passed away.
Good grief. What did you think then?
The first thing I thought was, oh my God, please don't let it be 3. And then I thought, no, let's be positive about this. Let's go across. We'll go across to Portugal. I'll be there, when my mother comes out of her coma, because she was in an induced coma at this time, or by this time. I'll be there to help her recover. I'll be there to bring her across. I'd already spoken to people from, from, I think it was border control, about bringing assets across and bringing people across that I was going to be looking after. And they said, yeah, that's fine. The documents take a day or 2 to sort out. And I thought, okay, great. I'll bring her home. It's going to be absolutely tragic. She's going to be broken. We'll build a life. We'll make her happy. We'll give her something. We'll make a family out of, my wife, myself and her.
Yeah.
And, that's ended abruptly on the Saturday.
Before you were able to get to Portugal, or were you there at that point?
Oh, no, I was there at that point.
Were you able to see her?
Yeah, on the Friday when I went through to the hospital, Cardiff, the doctors allowed me to see my mother in ICU. They said that it's not something they do because of COVID and because the number of people that would be coming in and transmission or whatever. And they clad me up in PPE, and I went in and I was able to see her. Yeah, I was able to say my farewells. I arranged it's not anything you ever think you'd do. Arranged a priest to do the last rites. So I asked them to arrange a priest to do the last rites, and they confirmed that it was sorted out a little bit later that day. And then that was on the Friday, and then the Saturday I received a call similar to the one about my father, saying the next few hours are going to be critical. And then later on, at about, I think it was 7:45, received a call saying that my mother had passed away at 7:15.
And what comfort was it to you that you were, unlike with your father and your brother, sadly, but that you were able to at least see her and provide comfort to her?
Absolutely, yeah. No, definitely it was. Yeah, if I never got to see her, I don't know how I would be dealing with that side. They really gave me a fantastic opportunity. And I think they all, looking back on it now, they probably didn't have much hope or see much hope, because they would have had experiences like this and seen people in the similar position.
And how are you now? We're quite a few days on from this. How are you today?
I'm an absolute mess. It's just, sleep is broken. You walk around, you feel like someone's punched you in the gut from time to time. I'm walking around. I find myself suddenly stopping, standing still, staring into nowhere. I try not to think about anything when I'm at work to keep myself busy, but it doesn't stop it. It pops in your head. A memory, your throat gets sore, your chest gets sore. Yeah, it's difficult. It really, really is difficult. You feel guilty when you find something funny and you have a small laugh at it. You blame yourself. You get angry. You're sad. You sometimes you feel like you're the one that's dead. It's just all over. I'm an absolute mess.
And of course, you're not only talking to me now. You're talking to other media as well, trying to spread the word about vaccination. Why was that so important for you to do? Why not just shut yourself away?
I just believe that if they had the vaccine, at the very least, I would have had one of them still here. And I do believe that the vaccine works, and I do believe that people need to stop spreading propaganda about it. If people don't want to take the vaccine after honest information is given, fair enough. You've had the opportunity. You've chosen it based on facts, not lies. I mean, the lies are causing deaths. And I don't know what else to say. It's the same message, And to the people that are concerned, don't go to social media. Don't look on YouTube for information. Go to your doctor. Your doctor's the one that's been taking care of you for years. They will advise you on this one.
How are the funerals?
It's I think on the day I was just completely numb. It hit me later on after the funeral, when I was alone, and I chose to be alone. My brother's girlfriend and his mother didn't want me to be alone on that evening, but I just really needed the world to just stop for a moment and just to try and deal with something. But it was absolutely terrible. Looking at 3 hearses coming down and then taking a long walk down to where they were going to be buried, and then walking into a designated area for COVID, for people that passed away because of COVID, and then to realize that you'll never have the opportunity to exhume the bodies and move them somewhere that's a little bit more respectable. So it's devastating.